With the 2022 anime season well underway, and the spring 2022 seasonals upon us, what better time than now to go over some recent sequel announcements? Though, I suppose these first two are more like upcoming sequels and were announced a while back. The last two are actual announcements. I'm saving the best for last, so make sure you stick around or use the video chapters in the description. Coming as soon as next month, we have the 4th season of Data Life, which is expected to continue from where Season 3 left off in winter of 2019. If you're like me and forgot how Season 3 ended, but semi-vaguely remember Origami being a spirit, allow me to refresh us both. At the end of Season 3, we found out that Shido had spirit powers, but he has no idea how to use them, nor does he even know he had them. This left viewers with a lot of unanswered questions and only deepened the mystery for anime-only watchers. Where did these powers come from and how does Shido have them? If Shido has spirit powers now, does that mean Kotori secretly knew? The look on her face tells me no, but that begs another question. Where did these powers come from and why is it that Shido and Kotori both have them? Despite the rushed nature of the final episode, and Data Life in general sometimes, Season 3 was fairly solid. My anime list has it at a 7.2 out of 10 rating, but I probably gave it a 9 considering how much I enjoy the Data Life anime. Hopefully Season 4 answers some of the above questions and really begins to dig into the mystery of space quakes and spirits. Season 4 is slated for April 9th, literally a month away, after several delays pushed it back from last fall to this winter and now to this spring. The two most prominent features of this new season will be the addition of 2 new spirits, arguably some of the best character designs, besides Kotori and Kurumi, we've seen thus far, and the change in art style to a smoother look and softer colors. These 2 new spirits, Mokoro and Nia, will likely play a bigger role in the overall Data Life story, but there's still no telling whether or not we will dive any deeper into any of the above questions. Overall, the new season looks to be the best yet, and I'm excited to see the new girls. I'm especially excited to see the new art style in action. Sweet Arms is also back to perform the ending theme song. Next up, we have the Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2. And I'll tell you what, I have been anxiously awaiting this one since Season 1 ended in 2019. After Naofumi's fight with the Pope at the end of Season 1 and the crap the other 3 heroes put him through, I'm ready to see Naofumi start a life of being free from the clutches of deception and lies. Especially with Malte's reputation totally destroyed now with everything she put Naofumi through. Likewise, the king is no longer in power either and the throne was taken over by the queen. An excellent choice, seeing as she is favorable with the shield hero, aka Naofumi. Season 2 will see him back in action after the back-breaking work he put in during Season 1, having to carry the show and all. The Spirit Tortoise Kingdom is where we find him and Raftalia headed next for a once-every-few-centuries battle with a massive tortoise spirit. Light novel readers are already praising the season based upon what they've read, so it seems that anime-onlys are in for a real treat this spring. The waves are not over yet, and if Season 1 taught the other heroes anything, it's that they will desperately need Naofumi. As he learns how to hone his powers even further, Naofumi will once again step up to the plate to protect those that need protecting. Once blinded by fury and a heart wounded by betrayal, Naofumi continues to slowly thaw the ice that had grown over his heart. Time heals all wounds, but this will be one that takes a little more time, especially if we continue to see the light novels continually adapted. In other news, this anime is also slated for next month, April 2022 as well, but there is no official date yet. Furthermore, Mad Kid is back into the opening as well, and they do not disappoint. Season 1 was filled to the brim with complex themes and incredible emotions. Season 2 will likely continue that train well into the year, and I personally cannot wait. Our third sequel I'll be going over is Mushoku Tensei, better known as Jobless Reincarnation. Rudy will be returning at some point, but an official date, or even year for that matter, has not been announced yet. This will be the official second season, as what we received last fall was just the second part to Season 1 that aired in the spring last year. With Season 1's ending still relatively fresh in many people's minds, there is a consensus of giddy anticipation for an official announcement of Season 2's premiere date. We should recall how Season 1 ended, though, considering the announcement of Season 2 could potentially mean that it won't be too far out. Eris leaving Rudy was tough to watch, especially after the reunification with Ghislaine and Rudy and Eris's intimacy in Rudy's tent. I don't think there are many people who can say they're a fan of the over-sexualized nature Rudy has, but he has done an amazing job maturing into the person he is throughout his reincarnation thus far. However, Rudy must find what his purpose is as he continues the search for the rest of his family, separated after the Mana disaster at the end of the first core. For me, this anime really played into the themes of parenting and maturity as we saw Paul, Rudy's father, also come to terms with his own self. That's all that I have regarding Season 2 of Jobless, though. Regardless, with an average of over 8.5, there's almost zero doubt that Season 2 will continue the success of the first season. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was saving the best for last, and this is most certainly the best. The final sequel I'll be going over today is from a summer 2017 anime, and surprisingly has also been given the green light for a third season. Classroom of the Elite. This was announced only a couple of weeks ago, and so far has been met with a lot of disbelief and excitement. I'm incredibly excited myself, as it has been 5 years since the anime first aired. But there are probably a lot of us that need a refresher on how the first season ended. So with that, allow me. Kodo Ikse Senior High School is a utopia. Students have incredible amounts of freedom, but only the top-ranked classes receive favorable treatment. With that comes a school-wide competition to reach the top, and that is exactly where Season 1 ended. Class D won the competition, but we find out that Ayano Koji has been using others just to reach the top of the rankings. While he did have Horikita drop out of the competition, it was all to help secure the win for Class D. Season 1 ended without much to a cliffhanger or anything that would make anime-onlys think there would be a sequel of any sort, how most 11 to 13 episode anime are. However, with the announcement of Season 2 and 3, there is clearly plenty more to be adapted. The light novel is also still going, by the way. I've heard the light novels are pretty solid, and there is clearly a massive fanbase. While the official average score on MAL is just below an 8, it still exceeds the average lower N7 score that most anime of this length receive. Note, a low score does not necessarily mean the anime is bad or was adapted poorly. There are plenty of low-ranked anime that have very passionate fan bases, Classroom of the Elite being no exception in any case. Classroom of the Elite Season 2 will begin airing this July, 5 years after Season 1. Season 3 will follow the second season in 2023, which could be one of the reasons the anime took a 5-year hiatus. But the more likely reason was probably to let the light novel run for a while. The reason the Black Clover anime went on hiatus. The anime was catching up to the manga too quickly. So we obviously have 4, technically 5, incredible sequels to look forward to. Not just in 2022, but in 2023 as well, and there's definitely a nice variety. From the typical date-alive harem rom-com, to the action-packed isekai thriller The Rising of the Shield Hero, to a psychological slice-of-life competition in Classroom of the Elite, to the dark isekai themes of Jobless Reincarnation and Love-Struck Rudeus, there is a lot to look forward to, and that's not all this year. As more new stuff gets announced, I'll be sure to cover them here. Here's to hoping that No Game, No Life gets a second season next. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week with something brand new.